Well, hello there, Flosstube. How you doing? I'm Allison, and this is my channel, Green Goddess Plant Seeds and Stitching. And welcome to another Flosstube. So this is where I share my adventures in both gardening and in cross stitch and crafting. So welcome to you all. If you're new here, thank you for stopping in. And if you're returning, I hope I welcome you in and hope you have a cup of tea in hand and some stitching to do. It's Where did May go? May just zoomed right by. We had so many things going on, and the garden's been taking up a lot of time. And of course, some things have gotten done, and other things have not gotten done just because of the weather. Because the weather has been nuts, unusually so. I was outside earlier today trying to get some of our planting done. We've got so many tomatoes and peppers that have to get transplanted out into the ground, along with things like pumpkins and squash. And we're trying to get that done as quickly as possible because it's 1st of June already, and I'd ideally like to have them all in by the middle of June if I can. I just finished up out there. I was about to set up the hoses so that I could water them all in, and there was a rather bright flash of light and a very loud and long rumble of thunder, and I decided that waving a metal watering wand around may not have been the best thing to do at that time. So I decided to come in and take a break and do a floss tube because I've been meaning to do a floss tube. And here we are. So welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping in. So I was really hoping to have a finish for you guys, but I didn't quite make it there. I have been able to do some stitching, usually in the evenings, kind of after we're done for the day, after supper, and we're kind of winding down. Sometimes I will sit and just stitch quietly as a way of kind of, releasing the stress and the tension and just giving my mind something more pleasant to focus on. So that's usually when I've been doing my stitching, and I've been trying to work on a few different things. Not everything got stitched that I was wanting to stitch, and I didn't get to spend as much time on some things. And I've been spending more time on other things, so it's kind of weird. I don't have a set schedule. I don't think I could do that. I just kind of pick up whatever it is that I'm feeling in the mood to stitch. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the first two that I have to share are both by Erin Elizabeth. So the first one is out of this. So this is the 2024 spring edition. This is last year's. And I am stitching this one, All Things Spring. Hello, Spring. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And this is what I'm working on. So I do have a bit of a thread here that's kind of hanging. But so I am using some 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I am almost finished. This is one of the ones I'm so close to finishing. I really just have this bottom section here. There's like a couple of plants in here. And then there's like I need to finish the bird. And then there's some butterflies and I think a bee up in here somewhere and that. And then that is finished. Oh, I think I have to finish. Where did I finish? I might have to. I think there's another line of stitching on the birdhouse too, I think. So, but I'm so close to finishing that one. So close. Probably definitely the next time I see you guys, I should have a finish on this one. This was such a fun one to do. Turned out nice. And then the second one is also by Erin Elizabeth, and this is called Bee Farm, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So this one I purchased the PDF and downloaded it, and then this is where I'm at. So I think the last time I showed it to you, I had the body of the bee done, and I was starting to work on the wings. So I've actually gotten quite a lot done since the last time I did a floss tube. So, and I'm just using a 14 count printed Aida that I bought from the craft stores. So nothing too special. but I just have, there's another line of stitching up here, and then I have the bee farm banner up here to do. So I'm very, very happy with how quickly this one has stitched up. Very fun, very on point, because we do have honeybees. So that's been a fun one to stitch. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not quite as organized as I would like to be. I'm still out at the farm, obviously. Not quite my usual location in the kitchen where I have a table where I can spread things out. Yeah, but anyway, so the next one I did a little bit of work on is my oldest WIP, and this is the World of Cross Stitch 2023 Stitch Along, and that's the whole piece. Okay, and then I've been working on this bottom section here. So I've basically mostly finished the mug. I still have some fill-in stitching up here. And I got to finish these little motifs here. And then I've actually started stitching on this border. There's a border that goes all the way up. So that's what I've done since I think the last time I showed it to you guys. And I'm stitching this on 14 count white Aida. So yeah, this is a fun one. This one I love stitching on. I love working on this one. The colors are so bright. And this was designed by Durene Jones. So I'll be, it'll be nice to have it finished, but I'm almost sad to finish it because it has been such a joy to stitch on. I'm absolutely loving working on this one. So I'll just keep working away at it. Maybe I'll try and save it so I have a finish at the end of the year on it or something. And no need to rush necessarily, right? Especially when you're enjoying something. Take your time. So that is my oldest WIP. The next project I have that I started, this was a old dimensions kit called Garden Collectables. And this is from, when was this from? What did I see this from? Oh dear. I think it was 95. Yeah, 1995. There we go. And it is stitched on 14 count cream Aida. Oh, sorry, ivory Aida. So I am working in this area up here, this seed box. It's a much slower stitch than what I was expecting. There's a lot of color changes in that area and in just certain areas. So I haven't pressed this. It's still kind of wrinkly. So yeah, so I've mostly finished the box. I still have the seed packets to work on, and I've started doing a little bit of a ribbon. There's like a bouquet of flowers that kind of comes out across here, and so that pink there is for that ribbon. So definitely a much slower stitch for me. Like I'm lots of color changes, and I have to kind of sit there looking at the pattern and kind of trying to determine what my next move is, where am I going to stitch next, just in terms of colors and carrying the threads across kind of thing. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy that it's coming along slowly. Like I said, I don't have a set schedule for these, for stitching on these. I just kind of grab whatever I feel like working on, or something that I haven't worked on in a while. Well, I might decide to give that some love as well. So that is my dimensions, my old antique vintage, I don't know what you call it, dimensions kit. And my last WIP that I've been working on is my Fox and Rabbit 2025 yearly mystery stitch along. So there it is. So I am behind. I'm 2 months behind, I guess. So this is the whole thing. So let's see here. So it started in January with this center square. And then February is this outer sort of border part. March is where I got behind, and that was with these panels, these side panels here. There's a lot of stitching in those, and that's where I got behind. It was in March on those. And then April is the corner pieces, these corner pieces. Then May is this in here. So because May is definitely not as much work, and what I'm doing is, because I'm using the same dark blue for the borders, when I do sort of the outline border for this, I'm doing this at the same time, and I'm finding that it is going faster. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at that. There you go. I'm enjoying this. This is fun, actually. I'm really happy, and it's kind of interesting to see each piece come out and how it fits in. So today is the 1st of June, so I still have to go and print off June's installment and see where it lands, and then I can pick some colors. So yeah, yes, it's coming along nice. I'm very, very happy with that. Very interesting. Definitely not something that I would normally pick for myself, but I think I'm starting to branch out a little bit and pick different styles of designers and stuff like that. So that's all of my WIPs. I'm also going to show you. Now I did show the finish on this before. This is my woodland welcome for Glenn's daughter, who had her baby, a very healthy baby girl. She was born on the 8th of March, so I was finally able to put in the lettering. So Emma Gale on the 8th of May. So I said March, 8th of May. So that is the woodland welcome. And I think Glenn and I have kind of decided that we might just try and frame it ourselves. Glenn's pretty handy, and he can, he's pretty good at making stuff and building stuff, creating stuff. Sorry, can't quite see everything. Yeah, so I think we'll frame it ourselves, and hopefully it'll turn out okay. Now, Glenn's daughter Lisa has actually seen this. They were up last weekend visiting, introducing everybody to the baby kind of thing. So I would like to have it final finish on this framed for when they come back for the 1st of July. So that's the plan for that. So there we go. All right, so no new starts. I just have not had time. I would love to start some new stuff. I have lots of stitchy plans. I'm hoping to have a finish on at least one of the Erin Elizabeths, and I do have lots of things in the wings waiting to be started. So one of the things I wanted to start on. Sorry, I have a cat here who's stepping on stuff. Oh, there's the tail. I decided I wanted to participate in a stitch along. Lynn, the Lancashire Stitcher, is starting a dragon stitch along, start along. So I decided I wanted to participate in that and kind of show her some love and some support. A little while ago there, she had someone leave a rather disparaging comment on one of her floss tubes, and so she decided to have a stitch along. I'd say dragon stitch along. So you can choose whatever dragon pattern you want to stitch. And I know she chose the Star Dragon from Owl Forest Embroidery. And since I did not have any other patterns with dragons on them, I decided that I would stitch that one as well. So this is Star Dragon by Owl Forest Embroidery. And she is using a hashtag, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. So I will put the hashtag for it in the video description. So this is Star Dragon by Owl Forest. So I'm hoping to start this, well, not right away, but I have the pattern, which I did purchase. I purchased the PDF. I have the floss, and it actually only takes 4 colors. That's kind of cool. The only thing I am waiting on is fabric. I had to order some fabric, so I have to wait for it to arrive. So hopefully that won't be too long, and then I can get started on this and have a wonderful stitch. So that's a love. And I love Owl Forest. I do have another one of their patterns I've been wanting to do, but we'll start on this one first. So I'm excited to participate in that and show some love and some support to a fellow stitcher. So in terms of other plans, well, I've got lots. It's the 1st of June, so I'm kind of gearing up for July. For me, I've decided that July is going to be Canadiana month. So I'm going to be stitching either Canadian designers or patterns that celebrate Canada. I've got several lined up here. I just haven't decided if I want to start early on that or just wait till July or just what to do with that. I've got several that I want to get going on. The first one that I think I might just decide to start, this is by Pigeon Coop Designs, Max Pigeon. He's got a series of stitches for each of the Canadian provinces and territories. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful. And of course, the first one I have to pick is the one for Saskatchewan. So that is my home province. It's been my home for forever. So this is the one I'm going to start. I've purchased the PDF and I've got the threads. There's the threads for them. And I have fabric, I just have to cut it to size. So it's all together and ready to go. So this might be one that I might just start here in June. Yes. There we go. So that might be my first next start, other than the Star Dragon pattern. And so in terms of other options, well, I've got lots. I might wait till maybe late July or late June. I do have 2 here by Shanon Christine. I've got Canada mug. I have fabric that I dyed myself. It's a 14 count, I think. And then I also have July 1st, also by Shanon Christine. And I'm using the same dyed fabric that I dyed myself. So these I might wait. I might start these mid-June so that I can work on them. They're small stitches, so maybe I can finish them in time for 1st of July. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. And then I also have 2 by Tiny Modernist. I have Garden Hare, which, you know, we have a garden, we have a market garden, so this would be a perfect themed stitch for the summer, Garden Hare. And I have fabric. I think that might be 16 count, and it's fabric that I dyed myself. So it's a lovely. I was trying to go for a sky, kind of a, with green leaves and trees and stuff like that. So I've got that, and of course I do have all the threads ready to go for it. There's my threads. So put that back there. And then the other one by Tiny Modernist is, oh goodness, sorry about that. I just discovered if I have everything all pulled out, then I kind of forget which baggie goes with which pattern kind of thing. So I didn't want to have it too disseminated. So the other one, so this is also by Tiny Modernist, and it's called Spring Chicken. Yes, I thought that was lovely. It says spring, but to me, it could be a summery type of stitch to. We don't have chickens, but we've been thinking about getting chickens for eggs. Yes, and of course I have the same fabric, which is from the same dyed piece of fabric that I had for the other one. And of course there's the threads. So I'm using DMC for all of this. And then yeah, so that is my stitchy plans. That's what's been going on stitch wise with me. In terms of life in general, I don't know. Or the farm, it's been kind of weird. The weather's been it's definitely been challenging. Like I can't believe like May's over. Like, where did May go? It's just like my sense of time is just completely out of whack. Like, every day feels like a Sunday. Like, I know today is a Sunday, I think. But it could be been middle of the week and I'll wake up thinking, oh, today's Sunday. I can, do this or do that. And it's like, wait, no, it's not a Sunday. And it's just, well, even just the other day, what day was it? 2 days ago, 3 days ago? I was out in the garden. I got up, things were going good. I went out, I was planting, and Glenn he phoned me for something. He says, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, what? 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Where the hell did the day go? The last time I looked at the clock, it was like 10:30, 11, and all of a sudden, poof, all these hours go by. And I'm like, oh. So my sense of time is just completely out of whack. And then most of May was cold, and we've had lots of very gusty, strong winds, like more than normal, more than we should have had at this time of year. Like, and it's excessive gusty winds, and it makes it unpleasant to be outside. It just sucks the energy right out of you, and it beats up the plants. And yeah, it's just been nuts weather-wise. But we are getting on. We are just a sec here. Sorry about that. Where was I? We had some scorching hot days last week, like scorching hot. And of course, that you can't be out working in that heat. At least I can't. I can't be working, or I can do maybe half the day in the morning, and then by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I have to call it quits because it's just too hot. and last thing I want is to make myself sick by working out in the heat. And of course, that takes a toll on the plants too. Like, if it's too hot and dry, like, and that's when it's this gusty, windy, it just dries things out. Last Friday, oh, it was really weird. Like, I woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I could smell something because we had the windows in the house open, and it took a few minutes to register what it was that I was smelling, and then it was smoke. It was smoke blowing in from the wildfires, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was thick. Like, there was just enough twilight to see that it was very, very thick. Like, you could just barely see across the yard. It was just. And then about 8:30 that morning, we had a thunderstorm roll through, a thunder shower. It wasn't intense. It did drop some much needed rain. Yeah. And then today it's been gusty, so it's drying everything out. So we're losing plants because it's been so dry, and we can't seem to keep up with the watering. And in terms of the wildfires, we are not at risk where we are in Meadow Lake. The largest wildfire in Canada right now is burning in the Candle Lake area of Saskatchewan, and that is quite a built-up area. Even though it's in northern Saskatchewan, there's a lot of cabins, there's a lot of permanent homes up there. So yeah, I think the closest fire to us might be at Canoe Lake, which I think might be 3 hours north of Meadow Lake. But where we are, we're not at risk. So there's wide open spaces, farmland. So but you know, anything can happen, right, with wildfires. So, but yes, other than that, things are good. Other than being exhausted at the end of the day, just from all of the physical labor that we do here, planting stuff out. Things are good. Things are rolling along. We're we've got 10 days before the first regular farmers market for Meadow Lake starts up. It starts up on the 13th of June, and then it runs once a week on a Friday till early October. And then I think we've got another week or 2 weeks after that, and the farmers market in Loon Lake starts up. So we do both. We do Meadow Lake on Fridays, and we do the Loon Lake farmers market on Saturdays, which makes for a very, very busy summer. But before that, like next weekend, we're supposed to be in St. Walburg for their party in the pasture. On the 14th of June, we're supposed to be in Lashburn for Lashburn Days. I know Glenn's got us booked in for quite a few extra events. End of July, we're supposed to be at the Dog Patch Music Festival. And I'm sure there's other things in between that he's got us booked in for. So it's going to be a very busy summer. Very, very busy, hectic summer. And we have to start making product to sell too. Like I know we're low in a lot of our jams and jellies and preserves and stuff like that. So all of that has to be done as well. But Glenn kind of the preserves ends and the jams and the jellies. That's kind of his end of things. My end is kind of the gardening. I might do a little bit of baking, but Glenn does the canning. So anyway, yeah. So this is my Flosstube. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. Please do leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're stitching on. Well, like I said, welcome to all my new subscribers, and welcome back to anyone who's coming back. I appreciate you so much. I do love this community. It's a wonderful, supportive community, and I'm glad I've kind of fallen into that. It's been lovely. So, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great week ahead, and until next time, take care.